You're listening to the Everything Jewish 10 Minutes at a Time podcast, where you'll learn about every Jewish topic imaginable in about 10 minutes. And as always, I apologize for all of my Hebrew pronunciation. I know I'm going to pronounce some things imperfectly, so please bear with me. Today, we're exploring a topic that fascinates and challenges people across generations. What happens after we die, according to Judaism? Unlike some religious traditions that present a single vision of the afterlife, Judaism offers a layered and evolving understanding. From early biblical references to later mystical teachings, Jewish texts describe a variety of post-death experiences for the soul. These include Sheol, the shadowy waiting place; Olam Haba, the world to come for the righteous; Gehinnom, a temporary purification; the process of Gilgul, or reincarnation; and the eventual resurrection of the dead in the Messianic era. Today, we'll explore these concepts in depth, weaving together Torah, Talmud, Rambam, Kabbalistic sources, and influential rabbinic perspectives, showing how Judaism approaches life after death with nuance, hope, and ethical seriousness. One of the earliest post-death concepts in Judaism is Sheol, mentioned throughout the Hebrew Bible. Sheol is often described as a shadowy, indistinct realm where souls go after death, neither fully conscious nor active in worldly affairs. Unlike later religious depictions of hell or eternal punishment, Sheol functions more as a holding place, a state of separation from the living, and a suspension of earthly existence. The righteous and the wicked may initially reside in Sheol, but their paths diverge over time, depending on divine judgment and spiritual development. Later rabbinic teachings describe this as a place where souls experience a reflective period, preparing for eventual ascent or rectification. Sheol illustrates a foundational Jewish idea. Death is not the end, but part of a continuing spiritual journey. It also emphasizes that divine justice is not always immediate, encouraging moral living while acknowledging the mystery of God's ultimate timing. This early vision laid the groundwork for more detailed ideas about the soul's posthumous destiny. From Sheol, Jewish thought develops the notion of Olam Haba, the world to come, which represents the ultimate spiritual reward for the righteous. In contrast to Sheol, Olam Haba emphasizes fulfillment, clarity, and intimacy with God, and it is primarily a state of the soul rather than a physical realm. Think of it as the culmination of a lifetime of ethical living, Torah study, and spiritual refinement. Authorities like Maimonides describe Olam Haba as a place of intellectual and spiritual perfection, where the soul experiences profound connection to the divine. Kabbalistic sources add layers of mystical imagery, portraying multiple levels of ascent and illumination. This state is not merely reward, but also the completion of the soul's purpose in creation. By contrasting Sheol and Olam Haba, Judaism highlights a dynamic spectrum. Initial post-death experiences may involve waiting or correction, but the ultimate goal remains union with God and fulfillment of the soul's highest potential, reflecting both justice and mercy in divine design. A related, often misunderstood concept is Gehinnom, sometimes translated as a purgatory-like process. Unlike Christian notions of eternal hell, Gehinnom in Jewish thought is temporary and rehabilitative. Souls enter Gehinnom to undergo purification and correction for transgressions or spiritual deficiencies. The Talmud and Midrash describe this process as lasting up to 12 months, after which the soul is prepared to ascend to higher realms or even reach Olam Haba. The purpose is not punishment for its own sake, but spiritual repair, allowing the soul to be elevated rather than condemned. Mystical texts add that Gehinnom also helps the soul release attachments to earthly desires or unresolved conflicts. This emphasizes Judaism's focus on moral responsibility and the possibility of transformation after death. Far from being fearful, Gehinnom reflects divine compassion, offering a structured pathway for the soul's growth, demonstrating that even errors or missteps in life are part of a larger process of spiritual evolution and ultimate reunion with God. Another deeply mystical idea is Gilgul, or the reincarnation of the soul, discussed extensively in Kabbalistic literature, particularly the Zohar. According to this concept, souls may return to the physical world multiple times to rectify mistakes, fulfill commandments, or complete unfinished spiritual work. Reincarnation is not random. It is a highly organized system aligned with divine purpose. Some souls return to elevate themselves, while others assist the living in fulfilling collective spiritual missions. Gilgul complements the ideas of Sheol and Olam Haba by offering multiple lifetimes as opportunities for spiritual refinement, emphasizing that ethical and spiritual growth extends beyond a single earthly existence. Even righteous souls may undergo reincarnation to help repair the world or guide others, reflecting Judaism's holistic view of moral responsibility. By incorporating Gilgul alongside resurrection and Olam Haba, Jewish thought illustrates the ongoing, dynamic journey of the soul, balancing justice, mercy, and the enduring potential for growth. The concept of resurrection, or Tekiyat HaMetim, focuses on the future Messianic era, when the dead will rise, reuniting body and soul. This belief is central in later rabbinic writings, emphasizing that ultimate justice is not only spiritual, but also physical. Resurrection is portrayed as a cosmic restoration, where the righteous live again in a perfected world aligned with God's will. Classical authorities stress that this reunion is not metaphorical. It involves full human experience, perfected and renewed. Some mystical texts describe stages of resurrection, with souls ascending from Sheol or Gehinnom to join their resurrected bodies. Resurrection complements Gilgul, while reincarnation allows the soul to refine itself across multiple lifetimes. Resurrection represents the culmination of history, when divine justice, cosmic order, and the ethical labor of humanity converge. Both ideas highlight Judaism's dynamic view of time, morality, and the soul, showing that human choices resonate far beyond the limits of a single lifetime. An important theme across these teachings is the interplay between justice and mercy. While Olam Haba rewards the righteous, Gehinnom purifies, and Gilgul provides additional opportunities, all reflect a compassionate divine design. Jewish texts often describe the afterlife not as punitive, but as corrective, aiming for spiritual elevation. Even Sheol serves as a transitional state, not a final verdict. Maimonides emphasizes intellectual perfection and closeness to God, while Kabbalistic sources explore complex spiritual landscapes, illustrating how different souls follow unique paths to the world to come. This framework encourages moral reflection in the present life. Acts of kindness, study, prayer, and ethical conduct actively influence the soul's trajectory. By understanding the afterlife as dynamic and participatory, Judaism empowers individuals to live with intention, knowing their spiritual decisions resonate beyond the physical world. It is also worth noting the philosophical richness and poetic breadth of Jewish afterlife thought. Some texts focus on intellectual engagement, others on mystical ascent, while others present allegorical stories to illustrate divine justice and mercy. Together, these perspectives offer a multidimensional approach, accommodating a range of experiences and understandings. Gilgul, resurrection, Olam Haba, Gehinnom, and Sheol interact, providing both a cosmic framework and personal guidance. This richness reflects Judaism's flexibility and depth, allowing different communities and individuals to engage with the afterlife in ways that resonate spiritually, ethically, and intellectually, without requiring rigid literalism. It also emphasizes that the afterlife is a source of ethical motivation, mystical wonder, and hope, bridging human experience with divine purpose across multiple realms and lifetimes. Finally, Judaism's teachings on the afterlife underscore the continuing responsibility of the living. The living can honor the dead through prayer, mitzvot, and ethical action, impacting the spiritual journey of departed souls. Observing commandments, performing acts of kindness, studying Torah, and engaging in sincere reflection contribute to the soul's elevation in Olam Haba or refinement through Gilgul and Gehinnom. The afterlife is therefore not separate from this world. It interacts with it. Life is understood as an opportunity to shape destiny, elevate the soul, and participate in a divine continuum that spans Sheol, reincarnation, and resurrection. This approach emphasizes hope, responsibility, and the transformative power of human action. In the end, Judaism presents a rich, multi-layered vision of what lies beyond, inviting us to live purposefully and ethically, aware that the soul's journey continues long after the body rests. So, when we consider life after death in Judaism, we see a tradition that embraces complexity, hope, and moral depth. Sheol offers a resting place, Gehinnom purifies, Gilgul provides continued opportunities for growth, Olam Haba represents ultimate spiritual fulfillment, and resurrection restores body and soul in the Messianic era. Together, these ideas reflect divine justice tempered with mercy and an enduring invitation for the soul to perfect itself. The afterlife is both mystical and ethical, personal and communal, immediate and cosmic. It reminds us that our choices have lasting significance, that growth is possible beyond a single lifetime, and that human beings are partners in a divine plan that stretches from this world to the next. Thank you for joining me on this journey today.